Hello.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
So let's talk about the beach quarters. They get Virginia Beach. That's why I'm calling.
Okay.
So you own the Hilton of Virginia Beach. How long have you had it?
I don't know. Let me see. I think I've had, let me see,
been a while.
26, yeah, about 20 years.
Okay, let's just work off that. No worries. I'm just making a little conversation here. So, are you taking notes? Do you have a pen and paper handy?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with that. My name is, my phone number is, that's my cell phone number. It's a direct number to me. If you want to get a hold of me during the day here, I'm on the phone constantly, one after another. The calls just keep on coming in. And so if you need me, you can text me. I can text you back, and I can tell you when I expect to be off my phone call, or I can answer a question for you. So I'm a pretty good multitasker. So if you text me, you can get immediate responses from me. Okay, so keep that handy, just in case you need me. Have you received any emails from us?
No.
I have at gmail.com. Is that a good email address?
Yes.
Let's see here. Phone number works, obviously, and you have no one else on the deed with you. It's just yourself?
Correct.
Bought it 20 years ago when you were young and full of dreams of vacationing, and now maybe it's not quite what your appetite is. Would it be fair to say that your lifestyle has changed in the 20 years that you've owned it?
Correct.
I mean, I would be surprised if it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 20 years is that's a whole lifetime there. So, if you do you have any children?
I have an adult son.
Okay. All right. So the reason why I ask is because maybe, listen, I don't know who I'm talking to. I talk to 7-8 people a day. It's the same conversation. So I go through the qualifications here. So the timeshare, this timeshare contract that you sign is written in perpetuity, meaning it goes on forever and ever and ever. It's perpetual.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, who figured that? And so what they do is they kind of hide around the fact that they say, this is a great investment and you can even give it to your children. And you go, okay, cool. If it's a great investment and it's worth some money, I'd want to hang on to it and I'd want to give it to my you said you had a son?
Yes.
The stories kind of meld together, so I wrote down son now. So you have an adult son. You bought this when you were young. Now, was your son alive when you purchased it?
Yes.
How old is your son? Okay.
He's 30.
Is your son 30? Okay, so maybe he was like 10 years old, and there it is, the dream. You can go to places. They told you all about maybe you could go down to Disney World. You could go exchange it all over the place, and it would be a fun thing for you and your son to enjoy. In the 20 years that you've owned it, have you had 20 wonderful, exciting vacations to call your own from this timeshare?
No.
No? How many do you think that you've been on in the 20 years?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay. That's sad. Okay, so 2 or 3. So, yes, ma'am. So here's the thing is that the reason, listen, I'm the senior advisor. I'm not a salesperson. So what I do is I represent a group of legal professionals. We have a legal team. We're real estate litigators, and we do nothing but cancel timeshare contracts. We've been doing it for 18 years. We have over 20,000 happy clients out from under their timeshare. And with all those people that we've helped out, we have 0 negative reviews or complaints from anyone who's paid for our services. So that should tell you something about us. We actually help our clients. We're here to help people. We started out as a nonprofit organization back in 2004, and we've grown into where we are today. We basically cherry pick the cases that we have come before us. My job is to make sure that your case is strong enough for the attorneys to take on. They don't want to waste your time or their time. And if we do approve your case, then 100% guaranteed that you're going to get out of it. We've never lost a case, like I said, in the 18 years that we've been doing this. And so we're very good at what we do. We're very familiar with them. They know us. And so what they offer our clients is this thing called a mutual release. Now, this mutual release is effectively saying that all bets are off. You owe them nothing. If there's any debt, I don't see any debt here on my records here. So you're paid in full. You don't owe them anything. Is that what you understand? Is
Correct.
True?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the scenario: is that you go your way, they go their way. They take back their timeshare. Whatever money you paid them, I'll be honest with you, that's gone. We don't fight for any money back. But what we do is we cancel anything going forward. And most importantly, it's going to be protecting you from having to give this to your son. Because this is the real dark underbelly of the timeshare world, is that you signed on for an annuity. Basically, you're going to be giving them, it looks like $1,000 this year. It's going to go up about 10%, so that's easy math. That'll be another $100, so that's $1,100. And then the next year will be a little bit more than that, 110, so it'll be $1,210. It continues to climb and climb. And so at 10%, it doubles every 10 years.
Now, let me ask you this. What if you don't have anybody to pass it on to?
Well, that's a great question. And so what would happen is it's part of your estate. And so whatever happens to your estate, now if you just die, and the word is called intestate, meaning that you have no will, you
Mm-hmm.
just die, a happy woman. I always try to put a smile on it because it's not a real good topic, but if you were to pass on, and you had no one to give this to, and that no relatives, no one's going to claim your house or your Lamborghini or your boat, anything like that, then it's called intestate. And so the debt and the assets will all be divvied up, and the state will take it. And you live in Virginia, and so it's called the Commonwealth. And so the Commonwealth will take this back, and they'll auction it off. They'll auction everything off, and so that will be the end of it. And that would be a very rare scenario because typically people don't die with a zero balance. Sometimes they die with a negative balance where they owe money, and that's where there's debts involved. And then there's the majority of the people die with assets. They bought a house.
So I understand. So the timeshare could make my son take ownership.
It's part of your assets, and it was part of your estate. It's actually a debt that's attached to your estate. And so, yes, ma'am. I mean, if your son is going to be the executor of your estate when you pass on, does that seem like a likelihood?
I mean, it just seems weird. Like, if I don't owe anything on a timeshare, they can make somebody take over paying them a maintenance fee every year.
Yeah, it's a mind bender, and I've been doing this for 13 years, and this is a conversation I have probably 7-8 times a day.
Wow.
Not always. People, a lot of people are aware of it. They've learned this over the years that oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Because that's definitely something they don't pit or don't really tell you or make clear in those meetings and those presentations. Like you're saddling somebody with this expense.
Right. And so it is a diabolical thing. And so, with your permission, let me just walk you through what we do because it'll all make sense.
Okay.
And so, yes, it's we can get down this rabbit hole here of perpetuity, and on and on and on and on. It's going to double every 10 years. And so it continues to climb and climb and climb. And if you were to walk away from it now, which a lot of people ask me, hey, what happens if I just quit paying it? Not really a big deal for you. So what happens is they lock you out of your account. There's a lockout fee, and so that's thrown onto your debt. And so now you have a late fee on your maintenance fee bill. So let's just say it's $1,000, and they add a 10% late fee to it, so that's another $100. There's a lockout fee that's $150, and so then they're sitting at $1,300 before you know it, and that's this year. Next year, same thing rolls around. You don't pay it again. They rack on festering.
Mm-hmm.
Then those are collection fees. Okay, so what they're trying to do here is they're trying to make this bill as big as possible, and it does grow rapidly after you get into that situation. And so then once it gets to, let's say it gets up to $10,000, then they come knocking on your door virtually. You know, they're going to call you, write you letters and things, and they're going to say, hey, what gives? You know, we're about to foreclose on you. We're in collections now. We're looking for money from you. You owe us some money. And so usually they do that, and then they sell it to themselves, which is a shield company. It'll be not Hilton, but it'll be someone that's working, they're Hilton employees, but they're working in the disguise, and they're going to say, hey, and they're going to be a little bit strong-arm kind of collection company. And that's what they do. This is the underbelly of the timeshare industry, because you're going to have, let's say, $20,000 or $30,000 debt when you pass on. When you pass away, this $30,000 will be a lien against your estate. Now, if you own something worth more than what the lien is, then they will say, sell that property and give us that money. But it doesn't end there. Whoever is the executor of that estate now inherits that timeshare, and let's just say it's 30 years from now. 30 years, this maintenance fees will have doubled 3 times, and so $1,000, $2,000, $4,000 a year, $4,000 a year, and so they just inherited that $4,000 maintenance fee bill. And it doesn't stop there. It continues to go and go and go. Mm-hmm. So they didn't read the entire contract. You weren't really clear on it because they presented this contract to you after probably a 3, 4, 5 hour long brain-numbing process that you thought you were going to be there for like 90 minutes and get the free coupon or free this or free that. And that's the reason why you were there. And they manipulated you into buying this timeshare. And that's how they run their business. Mm-hmm. Does that sound fair? Mm-mm. No. The whole thing is not fair. Okay, so let's get back to what we do. There's 2 different services. One is called the transfer deed service. It's expensive. I don't recommend it. It's a fail-safe backup policy, backup plan that if we can't get you qualified for this other program. You having owned it for 20 years, I'm sure that we can find a lot of fraudulent activity in the last 20 years. The other plan is a legal plan. It's for individuals who feel that they've been victims of misrepresentation, deceptive, or fraudulent characteristics. Is it fair to say that in the 20 years that you've owned it, the 2-3 times you got to use it, was not the only 2 or 3 times that you were trying to use it with getting a registration?
I have lots of experiences. For the most part, I actually sell my timeshare every year. So It is used. I just don't use it. Yeah, and I know one year I let my mom use it, and I signed her up. I did all the proper things. And when she got there, like you said, they have rented it out to somebody else. Because I have a deeded week. So my week is the same every year.
So the thing is that you have a deeded week and probably a deeded unit. Do you have the same unit every time?
I have a deeded unit.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is how we are different from everybody else, is that all these other exit companies, they have attorneys. They may be good, who knows. But what they do is they go in and they challenge the contract that you signed. Now, these contracts that you have with this Hilton, and was it a Hilton when you bought it?
Of course not.
Probably not.
No. Okay. I don't even remember who they were, but they've been through many ownership changes. Yeah, when I first bought it, my maintenance fees were $600 a year. When they became Diamond Resorts, that's when they really started jumping super high.
So here's the thing: is that legally they should have given you an option to get out of this mess, because once they changed over from the original owner to Diamond or whatever it was, and then to Diamond, every time there's an ownership change, they have to bring in the new bylaws and the new contracts and the things that here's what we're changing, and you have it's called an opt-out option. You can go out. You can say, no, I don't want any more of this, and they should let you go. Yes, you're renting them out. That's not a big deal. Are you going through the resort, or are you doing it on your own?
No, I'm on my own.
You are of the top 10% of the people I talk to. Money, but at least you're not, going into a total loss every year. Are you recouping your $1,000 maintenance fees every year?
Yes.
Renting? You are. And God forbid a special assessment come around. You're on the beach. And so this building is getting older, and so in the event of any kind of catastrophic damage, like a fire, flood.
Oh no, we've had that. I think last year there was a special assessment that, I don't have a say in it. They make me pay it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so have a couple of those back to back, and now you're in a loss category.
Yeah.
That's not a real good thing to do. And with the advent of Hilton taking over, now you've got the Hilton enterprise. Hilton is a big company. If you look at your maintenance fee bill, you'll see a voluntary contribution to ARDA, ARDA.
Yep.
And it's okay. And so there's a $5 contribution from you. Do you pay it?
I don't. It's $7 and I don't pay it.
Okay, good. So $7 not. So you're climbing up to you're almost like that person. I want to have a picture of you and put you on the wall because you're doing everything right. Most people just hold their nose and pay their bill and say, I don't know what ARDA is, but whatever, it's $5, who cares? Well, 3 million people doing that, that's $15 million, or in your case, $21 million, so that's a lot of money just free coming out of nowhere and it's going right into the hands of ARDA.
Yeah.
ARDA is the American Resorts Developers Association, and it's a lobbyist group that doesn't help you, it helps the resorts screw you.
Exactly. So that's how I felt. Like if I'm paying them, I'm really telling you I support your cause, and I don't. So I always send in my money minus the $7. So when I saw the word voluntary, I knew I was not paying that. But I know voluntary.
Right.
No.
The story I hear is some people say I voluntary not pay it, and then they send me a bill for it later, and they say, "Oh, we locked you out because you didn't pay your full maintenance fee bill." Yeah, I did. All except for that voluntary. Oh, well. And so now you have, it's jacking around with them. It's phone calls and getting,
Yep. Nope, I never had that issue, and I've never paid it for years.
Good. What we've learned in 18 years is we go in and we protect you with the rights that you have as a consumer. These rights are known as the Consumer Bill of Rights. It was law written in 1962 by Would that be a good solution for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's the main threshold into where we go. Okay, so the right to safety reads like this. It protects against any marketing of goods and services. Now, if I gave Tinesha $52,000 to put in that one unit, what would it look like?
Exactly. My unit is an old unit, and I'm starting to run into that problem with renting it out because it's like, they're not renovating it like that because they want to get you to buy a newer, more updated unit and give them more money.
Sure. Well, and they want you to get out of that week at 9 points.
Yes, which I refuse to do.
And that's a scam. And see, once again, you've done everything right so far, Denise. How long do you want to play with these guys? Because it's going to be a disaster eventually. Yeah. And the thing is that I talk to two types of people. I talk to people like yourself, that now you're getting up into years and you realize that this thing is not something you want to continue to pay for the rest of your life, and you certainly don't want to pass it on to your children. Mm-hmm. So I talk to people like you every day, and I also talk to the unfortunate souls that are out there that didn't have moms and dads like you, and they inherited these things out of the blue, thinking that it was going to be worth some money because, you know, hey, mom bought this back in 2000, and now it's 2050, you know, looking into the future. And they go, oh, this thing's got to be worth a lot of money. And so they go to the timeshare and they say, hey, what's this worth? They go, oh, wow, look at this. This is the original week program. We don't see these anymore. Well, if you updated it, it would be worth a lot of money. And they re-up for it, and now the circle continues, and it goes on and on and on.
Because the other lie they tell is that it can be a write-off, like a property, like a vacation home write-off, and that's a lie.
Not true. You can't and they say that you can refinance it. Oh, it's Virginia Beach, just go to a Virginia bank, and they'll quote you a lower fee for it, so you can refinance it. No, you can't. There's not a bank in the world that will give you money for this.
Because then you find out, like you said, the places you want to go when you want to go, they're never available.
Oh, they are, but not to you.
Yeah, that's true. I've tried. Every time I've tried that, it's like, oh, not available, not available. Yeah.
And then you go on Travelocity, and there it is. Well, how come it? Well, it's not available to you. But what we're looking at is the ability to research before you buy it. And 20 years ago or so, you were a different person, and it was a different world. So if you were being forced to make a decision that you had to make it that day, or you were going to lose out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so in short, is it meeting up to the hype they told you? Is it meeting up to your expectations? Not at all. Otherwise, you would have used it more.
Perhaps.
So, what do you do for a living? Are you an attorney? You're a pretty sharp person.
I'm not
an attorney. Are you in a legal?
No, I'm not.
Okay. What do you do? You just know process and procedures and how to, see those telltale words like voluntary. A lot of people kind of just roll over that. And I, like you, I have that legal mind. You see things like voluntary. Oh, wait, come out. You mean I don't have to do this? They keep you hostage there all day. They're grinding you down and saying, why don't you want to buy this thing? You're an idiot if you don't buy it because everybody loves this. What you could want this. And they make you feel really, really bad. It's abusive what they do. And so that's not what you signed up for. And so that's coercion. They changed the deal on you. I have everything I need here. Obviously, it's a textbook situation. The 20 years that you've owned it, you've had some lifestyle changes. Is it fair to say that the appetite for travel that you had 20 years ago isn't what you have today?
Yes.
Okay. And are you experiencing any kind of financial changes in the last 20 years? Any kind of medical, health-related situations that would prevent you from using this timeshare in the future?
No.
Okay. Are you experiencing any kind of anxiety or stress because of this timeshare?
No. But
Not even just a little bit?
Yeah, okay, yes, sure. So stressed
I'm kidding. Yep. Okay. So listen, this is where I say I need to go to my legal team. My vote is that you absolutely are entitled to get out of this thing. We need to help you with that. So my legal team, what they're doing right now is they're reviewing all the case history of us dealing with Virginia Beach, Hilton. We need to make sure that we have someone on track there, ready to go, and to fight for you and to represent you. And so you would be assigned a case manager and an attorney. You're going to know their names, their phone numbers, and this is where we excel and we shine the best because our client services are next to none here. Everybody loves us, and we do what we say. We mean it, and we deliver, and people are happy with us. Have you had the opportunity to research this? Have you seen all the raving reviews about us?
I did not.
Oh, okay. That surprises me because you do everything else so perfectly there. So I thought
that doesn't surprise you. It's Christmas time. I'm still not finished shopping.
So thank you for sharing your time with me. Okay, so this is where I put you on a brief hold. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. I'll be back with the answers to the questions you have. How much is this going to cost you, and can I get out of it? And I'll tell you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
With your permission.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your patience with me today. It's been a true delight talking to you. The things that I shared with the legal team spoke very well of you. You've never upgraded in the years you've owned it. You still own that wheat and that unit. So I applaud you for that. The lifestyle changes in the 20 years that you've owned it, the consumer right violations that, everything about this is a textbook example of what we're looking for. So obviously you've been approved. They quoted Warren. They said, absolutely, we're going to help her out. Absolutely, win this case. Absolutely, give her the guarantees and quote her the lowest fee that we offer her. And so those are all wonderful things to hear from the legal team. Now, what that tells me, having dealt with these guys for the last 13 years, is that when they do that, that means that they're not expecting any kind of difficulties, any kind of problems, obstacles, challenges, delays, anything like that, because this thing is going to sail through because it's Tilton. How this would proceed is this, is that if you choose to hire us on, we're going to assign you an attorney and a case manager. Now, the fee that we charge you is going to cover all the bases from start to finish. There's no chance that we're going to ask for one nickel more, and that's in the agreement. Everything I tell you right now from this point forward is in the agreement, and so the verification officer, his job is to make sure that you read this 5-page agreement, which I'm sure you're going to, guarantees that we quote you and we tell you about. Now, the guarantees are 100% that we're going to get you out of this thing. You're not going to pay another nickel for it. And if we don't get you out, you get your money back, the fee that we quote, charge you. The second guarantee is that now this guarantee moved from 18 months to 36 months, but it was the window of time that we promised that we were going to get you out of for any cases that we take on. So yours is on the very quickest side, and that's the reason why you were quoted the lowest fee. First thing in order of business is that the attorney will file for a court-ordered cease and desist. This is the opening shot. This will now notify and put them on notice that you are now canceling the contract. You've hired an attorney, you're canceling this thing, the jig is up, we're over, right? And they're going to try to torment you. And that's the thing, is that you don't have to talk to them anymore. We recommend that you don't. Mm-hmm. After that gets rolling, we're going to present the case to the court. The court's going to review it. They're going to put all the people in place, and they're going to hand it off to the resort, and which is Hilton. And the Hilton's going to have to answer within 15 days as the respondent and make their intentions known to the court a little bit. But then we turn on the heat, and they finally sign the mutual release, because they don't want to go to court, because once it gets rolling, it's going to just cost them a lot of money, and it's going to get them in a really bad situation. And you have this as your golden ticket, and you'll be able to pass this on to your son. And so when he's financing a house or buying a car or something, they say, oh, what about this Beachport vacation timeshare that you have? And they're going to say, you still owe this. You owe this big debt. And he can say, oh, no, I have this here. This is a letter of debt validation stating that this was canceled back in 2023. Do you have any questions about what we've talked about so far? Any questions on the top of your mind here at all?
No.
Okay. So the reason why I like to pause for that is because once we start talking money, then you forget to ask that one question that you had. So the money. In your case, from start to finish, the one fee that we charge, we'll do everything for you, no extra charges whatsoever. It's $4,200. Okay, I pause there and now you can pay that 3 different ways. You could do an ACH payment. I'm sure you're familiar with those. It's an electronic draft. It would be $4,200 flat, no charges whatsoever. If you want to put it on a credit card, you can put up to 4 different credit cards. If you want to spread it out, then you get points at different places. That's great. You're allowed to do that. We accept all major credit cards. There is a 4% fee on that, so it would be $4,368 total fee for this service. If you want to finance it, you can finance it over 36 months, $500 down. It's going to be roughly $125 a month for the next 36 months. It's about 19% interest. It's simple interest, and it's no prepayment penalty. A lot of people do that, and they get started, and then they try to seek out other finances, maybe a credit line, maybe a personal loan, or a 0% credit card that they can do a balance transfer on. So I've completed everything there. So what do you think about all that we talked about?
And you said that was how much? 4,000 what?
4,200 is the fee.
Okay.
43.68 if you use a credit card.
Okay.
So here's the thing, mathematically, if you're at $1,000 now, you're looking at 3 years and some change because it's going to go up about 10% a year. You pepper in a little special assessment that can happen.
I know math. I can figure out my math.
All right, so 3 to 4 years, you're now in the positive. Okay, notwithstanding any kind of special assessments, which would bring the math down even more to the side here. So that's the thing there. The other thing is it protects your son from having to deal with this later on. And so that's the thing that you have on the plate there. And you have 48 hours to give me your answer. What we do is we're holding your position on the case calendar. Unless you want to move forward now. If you do,
I have to do my research.
Well, yeah, and so okay, so
this is like the timeshare now. You have make your decision over Christmas. Christmas, you said 48 hours. It's 48 hours is Christmas. I don't have time for that.
Okay, so tomorrow is Friday.
I have things to do to prepare for Christmas.
I know.
You get that, right?
Listen.
I came home today to take this phone call. I barely had time for this call. I'm not off of work.
Tinesha, I'm saying that you probably have until Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday of next week, because we're not counting Saturday, we're not counting Sunday.
Okay. I'm saying you said 48 hours.
At 48 business hours, it's Thursday night, and you're 8 o'clock, right? It's quitting time for you. So 8 o'clock, and so tomorrow would be 24 hours this time, and then Monday would be your 48 hours. So by the end of business on Monday, we would hope to hear from you. Is that so bad? I mean, can you do that, or would you like to call me on Tuesday?
I'll do my research, and then I will reach out.
Okay, so I feel the love there. So what I'm going to send you is
this is business. This isn't about love.
I felt the loving tone in your voice is what I was referring to. I hear you, and I was being a little bit. So listen, I'm going to send you a text. We just want to know if you're interested or not. If you're not interested, we don't want to jeopardize the Diamond/Hilton train that we run every day here, and so now we're holding a seat for you. If you're not interested, we just want you to be honest with us. That's all. There's no pressure. I'm not a salesperson. They don't pay me a nickel to sell anything. I'm a senior advisor for a legal company, a legal team. All right. So so let's just kind of move through the next step, just to kind of have your understanding of this. So when you say, am I ready to move forward, what I would need from you is the following.
Now let me ask you this. What happens if you guys go out of business?
You will be really sad for us because that we've been in business for 18 years. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we have no intention of going out of business. We do everything by the book. I'm a very professional person with a happy attitude.
Because I'm like Timeshare Exit Team, they went out of business, right?
Yes, ma'am. Well, what happened is they got they were being sued and they went into bankruptcy. Is what what happened with them. And so what happened with them is that they kind of got tangled up with the wrong people, and they were doing the wrong process, and we don't even get close to that type. We know what they did wrong, and we don't even do that. Yeah, there's a big class action lawsuit against them, and a lot of people are suing for money, and it's not good, and that's low integrity.
See, because what I don't understand is how come you guys don't do like pay half now and then pay the rest when it's nearly done? Like you get all the money up front and then you could just disappear.
We could, but in the 18 years of doing this, we never have, and we never would. We care about our clients, and we never go in that direction. We're not here money motivated. We're here to help people. We want you to know that we care about you, and we're trying to get you out of your timeshare. That's all we do.
All right.
It's been a pleasure. Do you have any questions before I say goodbye to you?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Are you going to go do some shopping tonight, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, after work.
All right. Be safe out there. It's a crazy time of year, so just be safe. We're concerned about you. God bless you. Have a great Christmas. I'll talk to you Monday or sometime next week. Whatever's pleasurable for you.
Okay. All right.
Touch.
Okay. Bye-bye. He was like, we ain't going to hound you. But he wouldn't get off the phone. He kept hounding me. And it's so funny because some of his closing tactics were some of the same tactics the timeshare companies use. So what y'all think? What y'all think? I already know what y'all think because a lot of y'all skeptical anyway. But all right.